The robot vacuum space is evolving very fast. Higher suction, extendable brushes and mops, and better batteries, all making us much more self-reliant for cleaning. Since my last update, there have been many new launches of robot vacuum cleaners. So let's decode the best robot vacuum cleaners in 2025 in India. We'll split robot vacuums into two main segments. First is the hands-free robot vacuums with auto-emptying bins and optionally mop washing. These are extremely convenient, and if you have the budget of around 25,000 or more, you should definitely consider this segment. These are also better for people with pets. Second segment is the regular robot vacuums that need you to empty and clean the bin and mop after nearly every run. Let's start with the heart of every robot vacuum cleaner, its suction power. The suction power directly affects 1. How well it cleans dust from the floors, 2. How effective it is on carpets. Carpets need more suction for better cleaning. And 3. How easily it is able to cross thresholds, typically up to half an inch only. These days, suction power goes almost up to 18,000 pascals in the best model. To think that my first robot vacuum cleaner 5 years back had only 1500 suction power is crazy. Anyway, this advertised suction power is the peak suction power. For daily cleaning of regular floors and wooden floors, they operate normally at 50 to 60% of the suction power only, which is sufficient. It increases the suction power automatically when crossing thresholds or thick carpets or when it is cleaning carpets. So if you have any of these, make sure to get one with a higher suction power. Amongst the robot vacuum cleaners without auto-cleaning docks, only the robot vacuums you see on the screen have the best suction power above 6,000 pascals. Now, amongst the robot vacuum cleaners with auto-cleaning docks or auto-emptying docks, or as we call it, hands-free robot vacuums, LiDAR L6 has the least suction power, and the robot vacuums you see on the screen all have suction powers above 10,000 pascal, which is great, especially if you have carpets or you have pets at home. Next, let's discuss the battery life. Every robot vacuum will return to its dock when it is low on battery, but that recharge, wait, and restart cycle can take up to 3 hours. So ideally, you want a robot vacuum that can clean your home in one single go. My rule of thumb is that for small to medium-sized houses, take a robot vacuum with at least 120 minutes of runtime or a 3200 mAh battery, which most robot vacuums support now. For larger homes, go for a better battery, 5200 mAh or above. So many newer models of Dreame and Ecovacs have this capacity. Just note, battery life stays solid for about 4 years, after which replacements are usually required. Most robot vacuums under 20,000 have a lower battery capacity of 3200 mAh or below and a runtime of 150 minutes or below. All other robot vacuums support 5200 mAh or above, with the premium ones having 6400 mAh battery and above. Next, let's talk about the navigation, which determines how well the robot vacuum is able to build accurate maps, navigate even in dark rooms, and recognize and avoid obstacles with ease. In summary, LiDAR builds accurate maps even in dark rooms, while cameras help to recognize objects like wires, shoes, and even pet poop. These days, almost all robot vacuums we have compared uses LiDAR, or some use LiDAR plus camera combination for better avoidance and mapping. The iRobot i7 and some models of LiDAR and Eureka Forbes are the exception, which still only use camera, and hence they are quite bumpy in navigation. Many of the premium robot vacuums like the Dreame L10S Pro Ultra and X40 Ultra, Narwal Frio Z Ultra, Ecovacs Dbot X5 Pro T50 and X8 Pro use LiDAR and one or more cameras in precise obstacle avoidance and mapping. Many of you have asked me if 2 side brushes are better than one single side brush. Short answer is not really. Single brush vacuum cleaners are programmed to clean in the direction of the brush, so there is no major impact on performance. That is important for you, then only the robot vacuums that you see on the screen have 2 side brushes. While 2 brushes does not matter that much, height does. Typically, LiDAR-based robot vacuum cleaners are taller, between 3.7 and 4.3 inches, as they have a LiDAR head. Now, with some of the premium Ecovacs model like the X5 Pro, T50 Pro and the X8 Pro, the LiDAR is embedded, making the height of these robot vacuums shorter than 4 inches in spite of having LiDAR, which is great for low-lying furniture. Now let's talk about the vacuuming and mopping. All robot vacuums we have compared have both vacuuming and mopping features except for the iRobot Roomba i7 Plus, which only supports vacuuming. Now, I have always wondered why robot vacuums were round in shape, as it prevents the corners from being cleaned properly. The front brushes do help to pull dust from the corners and edges in, but the extreme corners are left out. It's interesting that the shape of the Ecovacs Debot X5 Pro is now squarish, so corners are cleaned better at a much higher price instead. Every robot vacuum has an inbuilt dustbin to collect dust while vacuuming. When auto-emptying dock is not available, it is better to have a larger bin size so you don't have to empty the dustbin too often. Amongst the robot vacuum cleaners we've compared, only the Lifant, iLife, Dreame and Haier, as well as Karcher robot vacuum cleaners that you see on the screen have a large bin size. When auto-emptying dock is available, it is better to get one which has a large bag size to extend the time of period of collection, typically which is 60 to 90 days. Most collection bags are between 3 and 4 liters with the exception of Narwal, which only has a 400 ml bag in the Frio X Plus version and a 1 liter in the Frio X Ultra version. But Narwal uses a compression mechanism to compress the dust, so their bins also need to be emptied once in 60 to 90 days based on usage. Now, although the Frio X Plus does not have an auto-cleaning dock, it does compress dust for 6 to 7 weeks, so I do consider that as a hands-free robot vacuum cleaner. Also note that the Dreame L10 Prime does not have auto-emptying bin for collecting the vacuum dust, but does have auto-mop cleaning option, which in my opinion is a very weird combination. Speaking about mopping, there are mainly two types of mops. A flat mop, which most robot vacuum cleaners use, and a rotating mop, which only premium robot vacuum cleaners use. Rotating mops give better cleaning compared to flat mops. Only the robot vacuums that you see on the screen do have rotating mop option. It is possible to set no mop zones in robot vacuums, especially useful when you have carpets in your house. In addition, a mop lift option is a good feature to have if you have not set the carpeted area as a no mop zone, as otherwise the carpeted area would get pretty wet by the mop. Only the robot vacuums that you see on the screen have a mop lift option. Many premium robot vacuums also have the ability to rinse the mop during the cleaning run and clean the mop pads after the run. It will have two bins, one for clean water and one for dirty water. Do note that the L10 Prime does not have the auto-emptying bin for collecting the vacuum dust, but it does have auto-mop cleaning option. To address the concerns of edges not being cleaned properly, newer premium robot vacuum cleaners have an extendable mop pad, which helps to clean the edges and corners better. Narwal also has a unique triangular design to the mop pads, which helps to minimize unmopped spots and to clean edges and corners much better. To close on mopping, I'll say it again, while vacuuming in robot vacuums is really great, collecting very minute dust, mopping is just okay and time consuming. So keep that in mind when you're buying a robot vacuum cleaner. Next, let's talk about some usability features. All robot vacuums we have compared have full app control with the ability to selectively clean specific rooms, schedule your cleaning, set up go-no-go zones, and multi-floor maps. Amongst the robot vacuums compared, only the iLife, Mech and the Milagro robot vacuums include a remote, which is especially useful for seniors in your house to start and stop the robot vacuum. Remember, all these models require a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi for operation. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you can either tether using two mobile phones. The steps are quite cumbersome but possible. I've linked to a video in the description that can help you with that. Next, let's talk about warranty, service and pricing. Warranty in general is 1 year. Over the years, many brands like Ecovacs, Dreame, Eureka Forbes and so on have expanded their service networks to offer doorstep installation and service. For many of the other brands, the installation service is virtual and service is done separately from a few service centers across the country. During the warranty period, the product can be picked up and dropped by the brand, but after the warranty period, it has to be borne by the customer, which is definitely painful. For most of the brands that I recommend, spares like dust bags and brushes are easily available online, either from the brand itself or from third-party sellers for very popular models. After going over thousands of reviews to understand the serviceability of robot vacuum cleaner brands, iRobot offers the best service quality, but their product is lacking compared to other brands. Narwal is still new in the market, so it is hard to gauge serviceability yet. Although Dreame is part of the Xiaomi ecosystem, service is managed separately. But like I have always said, service quality can vary based on your location. It is recommended that you check the availability of service centers in your area before making a purchase. Pricing typically varies from 10,000 for basic robot vacuum cleaners to over a lakh for most advanced robot vacuum cleaners with hands-free operations. But you can get good robot vacuum cleaners with auto dust emptying functionality between 20 and 30,000, which is a sweet spot in my opinion. Now that we understand how to shortlist, let's get to my recommendations for the best robot vacuum cleaners in India in 2025. Let's start with robot vacuum cleaners with hands-free operations. So ones with auto emptying docks and optionally auto rinsing and cleaning of the mop pads. I highly recommend pet owners to purchase one of these based on the budget that you have. Like I mentioned earlier, 20 to 30,000 is a sweet spot for such hands-free robot vacuum cleaners, which gives a minimum hands-free operation for 60 to 90 days based on the amount of dust in your house. My first recommendation is the Dreame D10 Plus Gen 2 robot vacuum cleaner. At less than 25,000, this robot vacuum cleaner gives hands-free operations for up to 90 days with a 4-liter dust bag. With a 6000 PA suction power, a 285-minute runtime, and a 150 ml water tank, this helps to clean medium-sized homes in a single run. If you want a compact robot vacuum cleaner with a hands-free cleaning for up to 7 weeks, my recommendation is the Narwal Frio X Plus robot vacuum. It has a higher suction power of 7800 PA, allows the mop pads to be lifted by 9 mm to keep your carpets dry, that is, if you don't set no mop zones, and uses triple laser for more accurate navigation. The brush is also zero tangle certified, so ideal for pet owners. Between 30 to 50,000 price point, the robot vacuum cleaners are not much value adding than those I have already recommended in under 30,000. So I have no recommendations in that segment. Next, if auto mop rinsing and cleaning are key, I have 2 recommendations for you, both in the 50 to 60,000 segment. My first recommendation is the Ecovacs D-Bot N30 Pro robot vacuum. Ecovacs is now offering doorstep installation and service in 90 locations. This has a good 10,000 PA suction power, so ideal for homes with carpets and thresholds to cross. The all-in-one Omni station has hot water mop washing and rinsing and auto air drying at 40 degrees Celsius to eliminate the musty smell of a wet mop. It gives hands-free operation for up to 90 days. My next recommendation is the Dreame L10S Pro Ultra Robot Vacuum. It has an extendable mop pad to help cleaning corners and edges better. If this is not key for you, then the Dreame L10S Pro, which is available at about 13,000 lower with almost the same feature set, is more than sufficient for you. Similar to Ecovacs, this offers extending the mop to clean corners, hot water maintenance of the mop, and mop lift for carpeted floors. And my last recommendations for even better corner cleaning is the Ecovacs D-Bot X5 Pro. This is a cleaning powerhouse with a 12,800 PA suction power, a 6,000 mAh battery for a long run time, a collapsed LiDAR head, so a shorter height to go under low-lying furnitures, an extendable mop pad, and a square front design for better cleaning of your corners. If you have the budget and want the ultimate robot, then this is it. Now, let's discuss robot vacuums without auto cleaning docks. So you will need to manually empty the bin after every few runs. Under 20,000, I have 3 recommendations for you. Anything above this budget, I recommend going for ones with an auto emptying dock as it is extremely convenient. First is the Dreame D9 Max Gen 2. With a 6000 PA suction power and a large bin of 570 ml, it helps to remove hair, dust, dirt from various surfaces including carpets. Next recommendation is the iLife A20 Pro Robot Vacuum. With a slightly better suction power of 6500 PA, this only has a bin of 300 ml. So the emptying of the bin will have to be more often compared to the Dreame option. And lastly, I recommend the Ecovacs Y1 Pro at a slightly higher budget than the 20k budget I mentioned earlier. With a good suction power, a longer runtime of 330 minutes compared to the others, and precise navigation with LiDAR-based navigation, this is a good brand to buy. If you're in a budget under 15,000, I recommend either the iLife V3 or the iLife V3 Max, which has a slightly larger bin size. These both have app control and remote, so can be ideal for seniors and people who are not comfortable using the app. But remember, this uses gyro navigation, not LiDAR. So the cleaning is not as precise as a LiDAR-based robot vacuum cleaner. If you found this video useful, share the video and subscribe to become part of the 125,000 plus community that trusts us with their decision making. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.